Dear friends, this week we will be reading the portion of Tisa. In this portion we find the event and the story of the Jewish people bowing down to the golden calf. This story has captivated the minds of our rabbis and thinkers throughout the millennium of how is it that the Jewish people, so soon after they received the Ten Commandments, listening to God's voice, repeating the Ten Commandments to them, yet only 40 days later, and due to a error in counting when Moses will return from the mountain, they turned to idol worship. And there's many books and essays and writings about this, which I would suggest you take your time to study. But I want to share with you one lesson that I think is so important for all of us from the story of the golden calf. Now, the Jewish people had committed the worst sin. Bowing down to an idol is ground zero. This is a sin that comes with capital punishment, and a sin that's very, very severe, of turning our backs on God, our Creator, our Maker, and our Master. And yet we find that though the Jewish people had bowed down to the golden calf, and though the Jewish people had turned their backs on God, yet God forgave the Jewish people. Moses was able to arouse within God the willingness to forgive the Jewish people. How did God forgive the Jewish people? Why did He forgive us? And in here we hear the important lesson about the relationship that we as Jews have with God. And that is that no matter how far we slip and we fall, no matter how much we turn away from God and His ways, the door is never closed. We always have the opportunity to come back. We must make the first step. The Jewish people at that time, recognizing the grave sin that they did, immediately regretted and were looking to reconnect and reclaim the relationship with God. And God said, that first step is what will enable me to forgive you as well. And this is the power that each one of us has. That as we go through life and sometimes we feel we've done too many things wrong, we just haven't been on the right path, things have not worked out until now, so why begin at an older age? Why begin trying to become Jewish in observance if I haven't done it until now? And why try to reconcile myself with God when I've done so many things that are unforgivable? And the answer is, there's nothing unforgivable. The relationship between us and God is rock solid. Even if we go through terrible bumps, God is always ready to reconcile. But we got to make the first step. And as we're now coming from the holiday of Purim, the time of Jewish pride and self-sacrifice for our identity as Jews, and we're starting to get ready for Passover, the time when we celebrate the becoming of the Jewish nation, when we found our freedom from Egypt. These are the times we have to take a good look and say, okay, this is a good time to start anew. Let me take the first steps in getting ready for the holiday in the right spirit, to come to the Seder and prepare myself to want to reconcile myself with God, to change the past by looking forward to the future, and through that having a rock-solid relationship in a way that will guide me through my life and through all the coming issues that I face. And there's no doubt that if we take that first step, like God says, He will respond in a much greater way to help us along to move forward in the way that we'd love to. And with that, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. May God bless you all, you and your families, to have only happiness, joy, and blessings for now and forever. For those who live in Montreal, candlelighting time is 6:44 p.m.